And while they were at it, they would take Lazarus out too. So Jesus' good friends take him in, care for him, and shelter him from the world for this one night at least. Now in no time after he gets there, Martha prepares dinner and they all sit down to eat. Lazarus is beside him. But no one dare mentions what they were all thinking. By entering Bethany, Jesus had essentially signed his death warrant, and his friends knew it. But then the weirdest thing happens. Quietly and without any kind of restraint, Mary kneels beside Jesus and anoints his feet with a costly perfume and then gently wipes it with her hair. You know, that's kind of creepy, huh? And I thought so too, but I quickly let it go. Now, while no respectful first century Palestinian woman would sit by a man or put perfume on his feet, but especially not wipe it off with her hair, and while I think Jesus makes sense about using that money to help the poor, I gotta say there's so much more going on here. Tell me, can you think of a time when you experienced the absolute, all-consuming, unconditional love of God? What do we do with that? What do we do with that? Do we hold it in because it's private or just too embarrassing to talk about? Well, Mary could not. She knew Jesus' unconditional love, and she unconditionally loved him right back. As expressions of complete devotion go, it doesn't get more perfect than Mary's total and complete surrender of love. She couldn't hold it in. She responded in the one way she knew she could. She risked shame, ridicule, and public humiliation. And yet she did it. And yet in Mary, we see the boldness of God's grace made real. In Mary, we see the excessiveness of God's mercy made pure. And in Mary, we see the extravagance of God's love made flesh. And when I think about my encounter with Freddie, I now recognize in myself a sort of arrogant and very ignorant piety that could not stomach Freddie's wholehearted, no hold barred, exuberant love for God. Now, I've grown out of that, but today acts of true grace and true love regularly get trashed as being foolish or having an agenda. So why risk it? You know, why put ourselves through that? Why? Why not? God gives us courage and grace to proclaim our love for Jesus. God also gives us the freedom to choose what to do with it. I ask you to think back again at those moments when you have experienced God's unconditional love. And we have to ask ourselves, why wouldn't we want others, friends, family, enemies, complete strangers, to know the profound depth of God's love too? Why can't we, like Freddie and Mary and all the foolish saints before us, choose to boldly proclaim Jesus Christ is our man? So, by doing so, they would know God's love too. And we all know that's a love that takes our breath away, a love that gives us life, and a love that is now and forever, always doing a new thing. For Christ's sake, let's all be fools too. Amen.